Now boys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here, and today we're just going to make a quick little video to go over objectives. Now, it's something that I made a video on last year because in my personal opinion, objectives were hugely broken. So we did a video last year and it was actually very popular. A lot of you guys were having the same issues, the same struggles. If you're new to the channel, we started growing really by doing a Tottenham Hotspur career mode, which was cut short, unfortunately, on FIFA 22 due to being sacked after winning Tottenham their first trophy, doing very well in the Premier League, purely because we didn't get to the final of the Champions League. I just want to go over the objectives this year and give my thoughts and opinions on whether I think they've improved, whether they're the same, whether it's going to be the same issue, because a lot of you guys left feedback and comments on that video letting me know the story of what happened in your save and how it got ruined. Now that we've finally got our glasses on, let's take a look at some of the objectives you're going to be faced with this year. I've only done 3 career modes to test this out, but I think the Tottenham ones a pretty good one. We've got a reasonable rating right now, but there's still a lot to go on in this save. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go back and watch the videos on this series. It's very popular on the channel, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying FIFA this year. That is without a shadow of a doubt. Now, you'll see in the top left that we just have a thumbs up, and you'll also see here that we just have a thumbs up. That's reasonable. We don't have a number anymore, although there is still a number. If you actually then go into your objectives, there is still a confidence rating. So you can see here we've got 72, which is moderate. I wouldn't say moderate should be green, but hey, that's completely up to how EA wants to judge it. And I have noticed, though, that you are going to be faced with similar stuff this year, but it's going to have less of an effect. We're still on moderate, and we didn't win the FA Cup. But we don't finish in the Champions League, though. That might hurt us. And again, we're still on moderate, and this was a high condition, and we didn't reach the semi-finals. So it doesn't feel like you're being judged as harshly this year, which is actually really good. I think it was a little bit too harsh on you last year when you didn't achieve certain goals that the board wanted. They don't take into account the circumstances. Like, we didn't reach the semi-finals of the Champions League because we played against PSG. We put up a valiant fight, but because we played against PSG, we couldn't do that. It doesn't tend to take into account the reputation or the star level or skill level of the team you've actually been drawn up again. It was a similar situation in the FA Cup. We got knocked out by Man United. Like, we had a very hard run for the trophy. But this is where I want to point out that on the brand exposure that we're going to look at now, things are better, but they're also not better. Sign 2 young players was one that was just very difficult on last year's game. There isn't really a statement here or understanding of what signed 2 young players is, but I've only signed 2 players under the age of, like, what, 25, 24 in this series, and it was Lamptey and Illich. Both of them are above the age of 20 as well, and they both counted for young players, and I didn't have to sign them to crucial. Now, to fulfill this in the past, it always had to be crucial or important. I signed both of them to rotation, and it still completed the objective of signing 2 young players, which was critical. And to be honest with you, we would probably get sacked if we didn't achieve that. Now, the one for me here, realistically, though, then is a problem, is get 25 games without a defeat in home matches. There's only 19 home games in the Premiership, and if you can count the guaranteed home games in the Champions League, that's only 22 home games. So we would have to win absolutely every single home game. This is on the off chance that you're going to have home games in the Cup, although that's a 50-50 chance that you will have the home games in the Cup, and then that you get to the later stages of a European competition. We're not going to hit 25, although I'm pretty impressed that we managed to get to 20 and may get further with the remaining games left of the season, although there's only 3 of them. This isn't a very achievable goal. 15 home games, maybe for a team that's in the Champions League, you could say that, but for Spurs to expect you to win basically every single home game in the Premiership and then get as deep as humanly possible in the Champions League, which would make sense because they want us to reach the semi-final, but just in reality, that is a really dumb objective. And there was a lot of them on last year's game. Now, whether this is going to impact me and cause me to lose my job, you have no idea. Most likely isn't. Again, I am noticing in career mode this year, in the Ajax series I've done recently, we didn't achieve a lot of the goals. And although my rating was down, my confidence rating was down, we was in the orange, I didn't lose my job. I got the second season to be able to rectify some of that. So I do feel like you're gonna be given more opportunity in this year's game. You're not gonna be judged as harshly, but you are still going to experience some very stupid objectives, like Spurs' first time being back in the Champions League, reach the semi-final. I think Spurs fans would bite your hands off right now if they could reach the semi-final in this year's Champions League. It's not very realistic. I don't mind them having the lofty goal of winning the Cup, but again, I mean, it's a little bit out there. You never know. A Cup is a 50-50 situation. And for us to prioritize finishing in the Champions League and try and win the Cup and finish in the semi-final of the Champions League, it seems a little bit crazy. But But that's my take on it. I don't think objectives are fixed. You're just judged less harshly on them, which is definitely a positive from a career mode standpoint. It does look like the sign player objectives may be fixed. We've only come across this one, so I would love you guys to share your experience. The whole point of putting this video out is so that you guys can leave comments and feedback on your experiences, because there was a lot of comments on the last video I did for FIFA 22 that actually helped people out, and that's what this video is about. Like, if you can help people with actually what these objectives mean down below, that is huge, because a lot of people didn't know it needed to be a crucial or important contract for some of the objectives that you were given. When you're being told to sign 3 players from Asia, you're not told that they had to be important or crucial in the contract. And a lot of you guys in that comments section really helped other players when it comes to their career mode. And that's the thing for me on this channel. I want to make career mode as enjoyable, as fun as possible, and help you avoid not being sacked, because I still don't believe the objectives are correct. And if we did have the ability to turn them off, I most likely would turn them off and set my own board objectives of what I believed Tottenham would want for me to achieve. That'll be it for this one though, guys. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I just wanted to put it out there. The main thing with this one is starting that conversation down below for you guys throughout this year of FIFA to help other players enjoy career mode and be able to reach these objectives so that they don't get sacked. If I can do anything, I will do. I'll be active down there in those comments as well. Feel free to share your journeys. That's it for me. If you want more content from me, check the channel. Also, smash that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep monitoring stuff like this throughout the year. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.